This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. We didn't really talk about this, but was the original creative idea just to be Shawn Michaels' bodyguard? Or do you think he saw some other potential in him? I guess what I'm talking about is just in-ring work, quote unquote smart marks later in his career would be critical of Kevin Nash and say, oh, he's got, 5 or 6 moves, maybe 7 if you count the hair flip, or whatever Jim Cornette's knock on Kevin Nash's in-ring work was the original idea, hey, let's just pair him up with Shawn, and then maybe Shawn can sort of show him the ropes and help him along a little bit with some of the in-ring psychology and moveset and stuff like that? Or did we even get that far in the thinking?
Well, at the beginning, I don't think that anybody was looking at Vinny Vegas to come in and headline WrestleMania at that point. But when you met Kevin and you talk to him and you're in his presence, you realize there's potential there. Now, some people like Lex Luger made an entire career on potential. And Kevin just had, that gift of gab that he was able to convince anybody that he talked to that he would do whatever it took. The idea was always originally put him with Shawn, and if you can't learn something from being at ringside with Shawn Michaels every night,
right,
then there's no hope. The idea was put him there, and eventually at some point we'll put Kevin in the ring as a big heater. He could be the heater for Shawn, and you've got a big nasty heel. You take it from there.
It would be written in late August 94 that Shawn had an altercation with a fan at the Portland tapings. Quote, no reports seem to indicate how it got started, but Diesel had to hold Shawn back after the fan heckled Michaels and got under his skin, and then Michaels shot back. I mean, this is the first time we hear of, believe it or not, Diesel being, the cooler head. Shawn occasionally would be rather emotional and volatile, and Kevin's going to sort of keep him in check. Is this the first? It feels like this is the first of many times we would hear stories like this, where Kevin Nash is trying to just keep everything even keel.
So a heel got into a verbal argument with a fan in attendance, and another heel held the heel back. That's news.
It is in 94.
Okay.
There's a SummerSlam preview going down with Razor Ramon versus Diesel with Walter Payton and Shawn Michaels in respective corners. And it's teasing an Intercontinental title change. And then we get the match. Razor Ramon captures the IC from Diesel in 15 minutes and 2 seconds in a match with the NFL Hall of Fame running back Walter Payton in Ramon's corner as like the local sports tie-in, because this show goes down in Chicago. The match itself gets 2 3/4 stars. And after the match, Payton and his son are going to celebrate in the ring with Razor, while they're once again teasing the Shawn Michaels Diesel breakup. It was also worth mentioning, sort of on the march towards this pay-per-view, you guys have Shawn and Diesel appear on Regis and Kathy Lee. What can you tell us about Diesel sort of being a PR guy for you guys? I mean, this is going to be a big part of your role as a top guy. You're going to have to do the media circuit. You're going to have to be a good brand ambassador for the company. You're going to have to present yourself well, and everything we know about Kevin Nash now is that we know he can handle that. No problem. But how reluctant were you to get that started in 94 before you really knew what he was capable of in that regard?
Not reluctant at all. Again, I subscribe to the same theory of you put people out there that are going to stand out in a crowd. You don't put the average looking guy on TV with average looking people. You put your larger than life so that no matter what they do, no matter what happens on the show, people are still going to say, holy shit, did you see that guy? Mm-hmm. That was the criterion. That was, Diesel had that box checked easily. In addition to that, he had a pretty dry sense of humor, and the gift of gab. So you got to start somewhere.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.